to save ourselves from the transformatory ugliness of America, which refuses to recognize the spirituality of life, which refuses to recognize the spirituality of life and celebrates death with crosses, double and triple
6 minutes until showtime.
crosses, the middle passage, the first cross, Christianity, the double cross, and capitalism, the ultimate triple coup de grace cross of our captivity. But the terror of crosses notwithstanding, we sang, we beat, we be, we was and is. Hail Congo Square. Congo Square. Our African gods have not been obliterated. They have merely retreated inside the beat of us. Inside the beat of us. Our African gods have not been obliterated. They have merely retreated inside the beat of us until we are ready to release them into a
5 minutes until showtime.
world that we recreate, a world heralded by the beating of black heart drums. Heart beat, heart beat, heart beat at this place, beat, heart beat, we beating place in new world space, being in place in new world, preserving our ancient pace. Our dance is the God walk, our music the God talk. First thing we do, let's get together, circle ourselves into community. No beginning, no end.
4 minutes until showtime.
Connected together and singing, ringing, singing in a ring. Second, let's be original, aboriginal. Be what we were before we became what we are. Be bamboola dance. Be banza music. And sing song words which have no English translation. Third, let us remember. Let us remember never to forget. Even when we can't remember the specifics, we must retain the essentials. Let us remember never to forget. Even when we can't remember the
3 minutes until showtime.
specifics, we must retain the essentials. The bounce, the blood flow, the feel, the spirit grow, energy must retain and pass on the essential usness that others want to dissipate with out of us. Whoa! But no matter how much of us they prohibit, no matter how much of us they prohibit, deep inside us is us. Deep inside us is us. Remains us inside and needs only the beat to set us free. The beat to free us. It is morning, a Sunday.
2 minutes until showtime.
A field without shade, but dark with the people black of us in various shades, eclipsing the sun with our elegance. We are centuries later now, and still this sacred ground calls us to remember, to be, to be. We are centuries later now, and still this sacred ground calls us.
1 minute until showtime.
To remember, to be, to be. Beat Congo Square. Be Congo Square. Beat, 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 beat.
Well, let's get into it at high noon, DP.
Congo Square. Beat Congo Square. Beat, beat.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Love Talk Radio.
Divine, all blessed greetings and salutations. It is another edition of Revolutionary Hoodoo, New Orleans Voodoo Secrets and Recipes. All is truly and indeed a blessing if you can just see beyond those veils, for it is all just an illusion and a test and one of the greatest divine mysteries of this life cycle. Come on in, come on in. The fire is hot, the water is a-boiling. It's time to put somebody in this pot. Welcome, welcome, welcome this Wednesday, May 11th, 2022. Welcome, Blog Talk Radio. I certainly love and appreciate you. My listening and call-in number, my new listening and call-in number is area code 515-605-9718. 515-605-9718. When you are ready with your question, comment, or request, please do press the number 1 on your telephone keypad. I will be more than happy to unmute your mic and bring you into the conversation, to bring you into this virtual sacred space that we create here each and every day. Certainly, I have my sacred space. You have your sacred space there where you are. And in the spirit realms, in that interdimensional space, we come together and create a shared sacred space here at high noon U.S. Central Standard Time. Weekdays. Come on in, come on in. All is a blessing. Greetings and salutations, beloved Orisha. Beloved Orisha, come on in, come on in. One of my most faithful godchildren, initiates, friends, family members. Come on in, Orisha. Come on in, friends, family, frenemies. Come on in, come on in. All is a blessing. There's room for all. Greetings, May. Greetings. Come on in, beloved. All is a blessing. Welcome, welcome to the room. Shamafia, namaste, beloved, namaste. The God in me greets the goddess in you. For indeed the black woman is God, therefore we are too born God. All is a blessing. All is a blessing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for your commitment, your attendance, your participation. I'm grateful, grateful, grateful. All is a blessing. Are you all adjusting to the new format? I know it's taking me a little time, but are you all adjusting to the new format? 8 a.m. coffee has been tricky, technology-wise and certainly scheduling. But the midnight meditation has been wonderful, wonderful. The midnight meditation has been wonderful. The new, improved, less wordy 12 noon U.S. Central Standard Time has been well received. And certainly the coffee at 8 in the morning. Wake up and get your black coffee with the Divine Prince at 8 a.m. here on Blog Talk Radio. I will not be on camera at 8 a.m., but I will be on Blog Talk Radio at 8 a.m. So I certainly appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. All is a blessing. Welcome, welcome. Area code 515-605-9718. Press the number 1 on your telephone keypad, and I will certainly respond to your question, comment, or request. Also, take note that the chat room is indeed open and available in both platforms, both the Blog Talk Radio platform, but also the social media platform where you may be viewing me right now. Facebook, Twitter, my EarthCam page, wherever this can be viewed live right now. And I'm certainly grateful for your consistent love and attendance as this show continues to grow and evolve and improve and try out new things. Certainly, this is the new revolutionary Hoodoo, New Orleans Voodoo Secrets and Recipes. We're keeping it under 30 minutes, So I certainly appreciate your questions, comments, requests. If you can get that in, prepare that. Think about that before you come on at noon. That could be very beneficial to us keeping the show moving forward. You're certainly welcome to come on in with your webcam and your mic. Just know that there won't be any foolishness and shenanigans, but certainly you are welcome. As always, since the beginnings of this podcast, you're welcome to come on and co-host with me here at High Noon. Eshu Alegwana Kosi Were Awo Unlo Utu Ne Iwo Ada Afan Bo Osi O Batalami Ita Ne Ebo Anilio Abane Eshu. Eshu is the respected elder who flogs, confronts, uncovers fools. That one versed in mysteries uses truth to own you. He calls to scatter, to feed poverty. Obatala shakes rascals to have sacrifice. The owner of warnings is the one who is Eshu. Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Ashe. May I ever reach a rune. May I ever be accepted. May I ever allow what we desire to come to pass. So we say Ashe. I'm certainly grateful for another Wednesday, this Wednesday, May 11th, 2022. And you are sitting now live with the Divine Prince, Pan-African spiritualist, practitioner, author, and advisor. You all know the script. You all know my intro, my regulars. For my new participants, I most certainly do welcome you, honor you, appreciate you taking the time out of the middle of your day to be present with us here in this platform, a shared, created, self-created space to feel safe to explore our personal spiritual journeys, but also our collective spiritual journeys. And today I want to ask, are you living your best life? It's a lot going on here. Please forgive me. I'm gonna get focused in a minute, but it's a lot going on here. Are you living your best life? Blog Talk Radio, wherever you're listening to me from right now, Russia, Ukraine, the UK, America, Australia, DR Congo, Nigeria, are you living your best life? And what indeed is living your best life? Are we utilizing the measures as DP suggested, the car, the house, the property, the land, the hair and makeup, the material gadgets that pop culture says represents the best life. When we see hashtag best life in Instagram, hashtag best life in TikTok, often it's associated with a look, a location, as they say, people, places, and things. So indeed, when you explore the question, when you ask yourself, are you living your best life? Are you clear that you are basing that on the awareness, the self-awareness of your ability to create and recreate a reality that mirrors your best interests? As I've said yesterday and in podcasts in the last 48 hours, it's more than what we say. It's all about what we do. It's all about our demonstration. We learn to walk Christian and talk Christian and look a certain way, but it's that inner heart, right? It's that inner activity, right? That ultimately comes forward in some outward demonstration. Are you living your best life? Are you looking at your calendar, your zodiac calendar, in all of its houses? Love and relationships, career, education, finances, how you earn your living. Most certainly, but personal life path choices, health and wellness, spirituality and religion. Are you indeed living your best life in all the houses of your sign, in all the areas of who you be? In that magical book, the Christ says, in my house are many mansions. In my house are many mansions. Are those rooms clean? Are they full of your dark matter, your dark energy? How many people do we know in the public eye? Oh, may Bobby and Whitney, baby Bobby and Whitney, rest in heaven. But how many people could we identify with our physical eyes as living their best life? They had everything, had access to everything, material. But what about personal, spiritual, mental, health, wellness? Are we indeed living our best lives? And is our best life something that we do in front of the camera? Is it something that we do, you know, for the TikTok like? Or indeed is it something that we live, operate in 24 hours a day? Let's keep it real. Let's get 100. Backgrounds, easy to do. Easy to do. Sequencing and beating that bitch by hand is not easy to do. Okay. But creating a background, throwing up a background, creating a virtual reality, very easy to do. Very easy to do. You all have seen more of my space than many of your social media counterparts, especially your talking heads, who are often only in front of a blue screen, who are often only in one spot, in one location, in their virtual social media footprint and demonstration. Yet you buy into who you believe they are. Beloved Samuel, may he rest in heaven. In spite of all his shady, unhelpful comments about women, particularly black women. But did you know that they have a GoFundMe to bury him? Did you know that? Did you know that? But we view him as living his best life. He said he was. Did he not? He looked like he was. Did he not? Oh, and my goodness, Vicky White. Uh, Vicky White. I posted something a little earlier today. People are asking, how does a woman of her statue. Let's get the elephant out of the room first. She's white, female. We assume entitled. We assume a little bit more comfortable in this world than many of us. We assume, she has all the right things in place for her. They said she was dedicated and committed to her job. I don't know what happened to my notes, but I seem to be doing fine without them. She seemed to have been dedicated to her job and her community. She found her work environment exciting at the prison. Okay. But people say, how does she just now run off with a felon, with a convict? You know, how does that happen? You know, apparently you've never been in love with a thug before. Now we could easily unpack that, and that could take a show hour unto itself. Being in love with a thug. What is that, and what is that about? We've heard stories of pen paling, inmates, and setting them resources and developing relationship. And let's be clear, I have relationship with many imprisoned individuals. We have a lively prison ministry at the House of the Divine Prince. But I've never been convinced to commit a crime. I've never been convinced to go on the run. And I certainly have never felt, that it was worth throwing my life away, for love in any form. It's real easy to judge her and say, "Oh, girl, you fell in love with the felon." It's no different. No different. Many of you have fallen in love with foolishness to receive more foolishness, and so love does things, to the mind, to the body, to the spirit. We might have to examine who she was in her background, how she saw love demonstrated. But indeed, many 72 hours before that escape would have said she was living her best life. She seemed great. She seemed, happy. She seemed committed to her work. Certainly she was committed to her work. The guy, what's his name? The guy who she did all of this for. Because I've lost my notes, y'all. So help me, help me, help me, help me. I don't know what happened to my document, but I'm sure it won't be hard for me to conjure it up. Vicky White and Casey White. Casey White. Yeah. So they say Casey White is, you know, 6 and 9, 6 and 9 inches, 6 foot and 9 inches. Okay, tall. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. He's 6'9" in prison. A reasonable age. I've seen pictures. Healthy. Absolutely spent his time working out and doing some push-ups. So I could see her being enamored, perhaps. Perhaps. People are human. We expect people to stay professional and stay in a certain state of mindset. Again, living your best life. And you never know what's really going on with people. You never know what's really going on behind the veils with people. You never know what's really going on in here with people. And some of y'all are on autopilot, and maybe she was on autopilot. Yeah, the goddess, goddess initiative. Yeah, Casey White was 6 and 9, but 9 inches, 6 foot and 9 inches tall. 9 inches tall. But you can do the math, okay? But you can do the math. So, yeah, I can see her being a little enamored, maybe, and having some kind of fantasy going on. And again, without creating a longer show, what's her shadow? Where was her brokenness in her love and relationship house? What had she witnessed? What was her parents' experience? And how did that reflect on how she sought love in the world? Maybe she was divorced. I don't know. Maybe she had been through a few relationships or two. I don't know, you know. And depending on where we are, no matter what your class, your status, your income, depending on where you are in your living your best life, depending on where you are in your house, um, we find love where love finds us often. And we find love where we see love and seek love sometimes. Because sometimes we seek love. She clearly sought love in Casey. I question that love. The fact that they both had the last name of White is just coincidental. Um, they were not married or had no relationship beyond their introduction to each other in the prison house. But are you truly and indeed living your best life? Can you look yourself in the mirror? Can you look the God of your understanding in the face? Can you close your eyes and sit with the ancestors and say, I'm truly living my best life? Everything I put in my ears, everything I allow in my ears, everything I allow in my eyes, everything I allow to circulate and settle into my consciousness, am I indeed being the best steward of my life? How does one live their best life if they're not the best steward of that life? When we have children or take on godchildren or adopt children, we take on the responsibility of ensuring that those young people are living their best life. Doesn't mean we're always rich. Doesn't mean we always have the biggest house. Doesn't mean we always have the biggest family. But how do we gauge giving them their best life? Often things that aren't measured, DP, often things that aren't physical, that aren't material. Though that certainly helps. Paying the mortgage helps. Being able to buy a toy every now and then helps. But certainly love, feeding them healthy food, making sure they're in a healthy environment, making sure they don't harm themselves. So in thinking, I'm living my best life, are we giving ourselves the best food, making sure we aren't harming ourselves, making sure we aren't putting ourselves in position to be harmed, to be exposed to harm, much as we care for the young child? Are you living your best life? Really? Really? Are you in worry? Are you in fear? Are you in anxiety? Are you living your best life? Are you living up to your capabilities, your inherent and innate skills and ability? Are you indeed living your best life? People often seek ATR, traditional African-based religious systems, Ifa, Santeria, Lukumi, Palo, Voodoo, Kandable, root work, Conjure, and separate from ATR, the psychic reader, the fortune teller, you know, the feel-good seller, seeking an instantaneous answer to living their best life. I'm amazed often at the request and the urgency of the request until it comes time to do the homework. Until it comes time to do the homework. And how often it is expected that I, or any practitioner or minister or healer or doctor or therapist, can do the work for you and create healing that's lasting, result oriented, whole. It's shocking to me. It's shocking to me. It's urgent from the first 15 back to back to back to back phone calls. It's urgent in the voicemail. It's urgent in the email responses. It's urgent when I say, beloved, we need an appointment and a consultation to talk about it. It's urgent when we go into the divination, into the reading. It's urgent until it's time to do the homework. The homework. Not the ritual, the ceremony, not my part, your part. Oh, wait a minute. I ain't got time. Suddenly, it's not urgent anymore. Whew, I can't remember. Suddenly, it's not urgent anymore. And often the requests take years to create. Often the issues in the marriage took years to create. The issues in the relationship took years to create. Getting to a particular age or place in our journey where we're ready for initiation, truly ready to commit to knowing who we are, often takes years in the making. And pop culture has convinced you all that it's wave a magic wand, that it's instant, that it's going to happen overnight, that's going to happen in 3 days, and somehow Prince going to do it for you. For you. Prince is going to remotely fix you and your partner and your kids and their mental health issues and their financial issues in 7 to 8 days, and you ain't got to do nothing but wait for a follow-up. Are y'all serious? Really? Are y'all serious? Really? 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 I digress. I digress. Thank you, delicious apple love. Greetings, beloved. I digress. I went there for a moment. Didn't I? But it's stuck in my craw. It's stuck in my craw. You know, you got a child, a partner, a love interest, that's got a drug addiction, for example. For example, hypothetically, for example, okay, and maybe they're turning tricks to pay for their habit. And just maybe they have mental health issues that are not being addressed. Um, and maybe they're really young. Maybe they're really, really young. Uh, 19, 18. And so you go to the doctor. When I say doctor, I want you to hear voodoo priest. When I say therapist, I want you to hear psychic reader. When I say psychiatrist, I want you to hear fortune teller. So when I go to the doctor, okay, to seek help, I need answers right away by email. Oh, wait a minute. I need an appointment. You actually need to diagnose my loved one? Oh, okay. You mean you need to take labs? What? I can't call up the doctor. When I say doctor, you hear voodoo man. When I say therapist, I want you to hear psychic reader. Some of y'all following me. When I say psychologist, I want y'all to hear fortune teller. What? You mean when I call the doctor? No, when I email the doctor, he not going to tell me what's wrong with my child and how to fix it in an email? But boo, he don't know you from Adam. He ain't seen you or your daughter. He haven't diagnosed your daughter. He haven't done a lab on your daughter. The nurses ain't took no vitals on your daughter. And he's probably got a whole lot of patients. Oh, okay. So she makes an appointment with the doctor. She makes an appointment with the therapist, the psychiatrist, and the psychologist. Okay? She claims she's seen all of them. Okay? Remember the coding now. Remember, she's seen the doctor, the therapist, the psychiatrist, the psychologist, and now it's my turn to fix it. And it should be fixed in 12
90
days
seconds.
without any effort, any work, without fulfilling a prescription, without adhering to the the A, B, C, D, and E in terms of the therapeutic recovery process. And that's how y'all are coming at these wannabe witches. That's why there's so many. That's why there's so many in Instagram. That's why there's so many in TikTok.
60
It's a
seconds.
trend. It's a fad. It's not real. It's not real. And when this trend is done, they will be moving on to the next. Moving on to the next. And if you have a resource left, you'll be seeking the doctor, the therapist, the psychiatrist, the psychologist to finally address your issue authentically. Authentically. I don't know what's happening. And to be quite honest, I ain't got time to figure out what's happening. I don't think any of us do. All we have time to figure out is how to address it, how to repair it, how to fix it, how to go at it.
10 seconds.
I certainly appreciate your 30 minutes of time, effort, and energy. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I know it's taking some adjustments. You all are used to 2 hour show, 3 hour show. Just can't do that anymore. Just can't do that anymore. I appreciate you continuing to support me here at high noon U.S. Central Standard Time for 30 minutes. I appreciate you joining me at midnight for 15 minutes of meditation, guided meditation. I appreciate your joining me at 8 a.m. for my morning coffee, black coffee affirmation break, 9 a.m. And certainly there's more content and shows to come. But I just ask you to grow with me, evolve with me. Those of you who are interested in the 2 hour, 3 hour lecture, you all didn't support me in the Patreon. You all didn't support me in the Patreon. So that is now reserved for Arisha, Chef Bougie, the Goddess Initiative. Do I have any more of my spiritual family in the room? Yeah, that will be reserved for those who are a part of House of Divine Prince. 2 hour, 3 hour instruction. That will be available to my clients and my students who reserve appointments for services and consultations. That will be available to them. But I can't do, it's not happening. Not now. Perhaps when I'm on Fox Soul with my own show, I might go back to doing this thing. Okay. Until next time, all is truly and indeed a blessing. If you can just see beyond the veils, open that third eye and see beyond these veils, for it is all just an illusion and a test in one of the greatest divine mysteries of this life cycle. Ashe, Asheo, Ashe. I'll see you at midnight, beloveds. Greetings.